Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the end of the video? There's another paid request, this time for John the Zero Cool. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reviews, commentaries, reactions, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Boy Meets World, the pilot. Boy Meets World is one of those shows I remember seeing bits of when I was... Yeah, I guess I would say a kid back in the day. Just this debuted in 1993, and I would have been about 10 years old. I think this was on ABC and part of the TGIF Friday. Say Family Matters, Full House, that type of stuff. I probably didn't watch this as much as Family Matters or Full House back in the day, but I do remember seeing bits of this. And I think it went until the year 2000, because I think it was about 7 seasons. I know there's a Boy Meets Girl. No, it's a Girl Meets World. I think it's Girl Meets World is it's called. I think that's what's called Girl Meets World. I don't know, it shows how much I follow that. But anyway, it stars Ben Savage, the younger brother of Fred Savage. Of course, Fred Savage was in the Wonder Years, so I guess they felt, well, let's do the Wonder Years, but have a little bit more modern, a little bit more, even more kid-friendly, a little bit more sitcom type. And Ben Savage, there's not a whole lot of films I remember him in. I guess, in a way, I grew up with him, weirdly enough, via a trailer, because I want to say it was Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. I would watch that VHS over and over and over and over again. And there's a trailer for a film. It wasn't called this at the time, but it would end up being called Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get Even. But it was called, I think, Step Kids or something. But it's this song like, and I'm free to do what I want. Ba-da, da-na-na, and I'm free. And it's like this girl narrating about all of her family members. And Griffin Dunn from American Wolf in London is one of them. And Ben Savage is one of them. So because I watched that tape of Secret of the Ooze countless times as a kid, trailer that still sticks in my crawl, in my head. But I thought Ben Savage did well as the lead. You know, it's a sitcom. Yes, throughout the show they did deal with other issues like child abuse, sexual harassment, just like Home Improvement, dealt with a bit of drug use. Even, back in the day, like Different Strokes, dealt with stuff like that. What they call, special episodes. But for the most part, it's, fun sitcom-style humor. Where this kid, he starts off in the 6th grade, and it's either him dealing with his family or dealing with his teacher, played by William Daniels. William Daniels was definitely one of the big components of the show, along with Ben Savage. William Daniels, he was the voice of Kit, the car, in Knight Rider. And he would do plenty of other stuff too, but I think for the most part people will remember him either for this, as Mr. Feeney, or the voice of Kit from Knight Rider. Other people in the show, you have Ryder Strong, who doesn't really have much in the pilot, but throughout he would be much more of a bigger part as Ben Savage's buddy, and Ryder Strong would go on to be in the original Cabin Fever, among other movies. Ben Savage's older brother is Wilfredo. Sorry, I cannot pronounce his name. I'm bad with names. He would be the voice of Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond, the cartoon, which I rather enjoyed. So I couldn't catch the voice, but like, oh, yeah, okay. So that was cool to see. Like, before he was, the voice of Batman Beyond, this is what he did before. The dad is played by William Russ, who I remember he was in Wanted Dead or Alive. He was Rutger Hauer's buddy in that film, who gets killed off early on. I thought the actors did their jobs well, like the dad, the mom, everyone else. And the plot for the pilot is fairly simple. It's Ben Savage listened to a baseball game during class. He gets caught. He's going to have to serve detention. Meanwhile, him and his older brother would usually go to the baseball game, but they can't because the older brother wants to take this date out. So Ben Savage gets mad, but the way he gets mad is that he decides to go live in the treehouse. Now, those interactions with the parents were at least done well enough to not make Ben Savage come off as so bratty and so whiny and so unlikable that you want to have a decent first impression of the kid. I thought some of the dialogue wasn't too bad, like when the teacher, Mr. Feeney's trying to get him to understand Romeo and Juliet and love, and the kid says, "Yeah, you are aware I'm only 11 years old, right?" Or him being playful with his little sister and such, and one of the things he mentions is that, listen, my weapon would not be... I forget who he told this to, but he said, listen, my weapon would not be a chick with a plastic head. Talking about this doll his sister has. You tell that throughout the show, one of the primary bits that people like is the interaction between the lead and the teacher. Even the bits when they serve detention, where he's trying to understand what's so important about love because he saw that the teacher had... Because the teacher's also his next door neighbor. And he saw that he had a date, the date canceled, so he had to eat by himself. And the kid going, well, what's so important about love? And Wayne Dan's like, wow, it's funny you have you all figured out. It would take people all their life, but you're able to figure out when you're only 11. I like their back and forth. Like Ben Savage says something to the effect of, the cruel and unusual life-sucking torture. This whole detention thing, and William Daniels goes, yeah, you captured the essence of it. Like, William Daniels has a dry but funny wit to him. I think that definitely serves his purpose rather well. And, with the sitcom flavor, the brother comes back, and the date didn't go well, and in order to be the nice brother, Ben Savage goes, hey, just call the girl again, maybe invite her to a movie or something. So he, becomes a good brother at the end. Even treats the younger sister well. Whether that maintains, I don't know. Because I can't say I was an expert. This is before the whole love story he has with the girl Topanga. Like I said, I can't call myself an expert. In fact, I vaguely barely remember the show. I do have a feeling that the kids are definitely much more charming. Just, that's the thing that happens, is that when you see them as kids and maybe they're a bit more charming, as they grow up, people maybe find them a bit less charming. And that's why there's only... I guess you say with a lot of shows there's a certain lifespan. I mean, there's other reasons, but the other way that was Doogie Howser, MD. Like, the fun charm was that he was such a young kid, but he's able to do all this stuff with medical procedures. But then when he's growing and maturing rather quickly, and it's like, well, he just seems like just another doctor, then kind of loses a bit of its stuff and its appeal, I guess. Sort of the whole point of it. How much can it be a Boy Meets World when you get to a point where he's now going off the college or such? Ain't no boy anymore. So it's not like, shows are going to last, 15 years or so. Although not many shows last that long anyway, so what am I talking about? But I mean, the last 7 seasons is still pretty a decent run. But yeah, I mean, it depends how you feel about sitcoms. I'm fine with sitcoms because they're pretty short, they're pretty fast paced, 20 some minutes long. Of course, yes, there are some better than others. I mean, my favorite sitcoms would probably be stuff like Elf and Home Improvement and things of that nature, but this was a decent watch. It was interesting to, after, God, the last time I ever even seen anything of the show, honestly, it probably was in the 90s, honestly. It probably was in the 90s, probably around 97, 98 or something. Maybe even a bit before that, so. I would say at least 25 years. So it was interesting to revisit it again. And it was not that bad. It's really not that bad. Again, Ben Savage, he's probably never going to be as well known as Fred Savage, but he took the mantle up fairly well that his brother had. That's his interactions with the teacher. You tell is definitely one of the stronger points of the show. Parents seem like cool people, not annoying pieces of drywall. Just, sometimes that can be a problem with parent characters on these shows. And yeah, I know like the friends, like the school friends, they would do a bit more to them in future episodes. And then you have the Topangas, you have that thing that will work in later on. And that will become a big part of the show. I don't remember when she enters into the show. But overall, yeah, I mean, for a pilot, tell one thing, it's a lot better than Ferris Bueller's Day Off TV show or the Uncle Buck TV show. There's actually a few lines of dialogue that I actually chuckled or found kind of decently funny. And then you see like the cast worked fairly well together, which is essential to make a show successful. Because you want to sit down and hang around with them. If I feel like if they don't even feel comfortable with each other, then why would I care to hang out with you when you're not even comfortable with each other? I'll go off and watch something else. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.